And our opening words are by David White, my new favorite poet. Enough. These few words are enough. If not these words, this breath. If not this breath, this sitting here. This opening to the life we have refused again and again until now. Until now. Spirit of life, we offer our thoughts, prayers, and intentions this morning to that which is both within and beyond ourselves, to that which heals, inspires, creates, comforts, challenges. To the altar of life, we offer our deep thanksgiving for small victories in the larger fight for justice. We offer gratitude for all those who give of themselves so that others may have freedom and equality. We offer the joy of being part of a community this morning, and also the nervousness, shyness, and doubts we have about being here. We offer all our questions, yearnings, seeking. We offer candles of joy and of sorrow, songs of celebration and of longing. We ask for courage, stamina, and hope in our own justice seeking. We ask for help in accessing the deep reserves of hope, healing, forgiveness, and love that we carry within ourselves. We ask for a glimmer of light in those dark moments just before dawn. We ask for the courage to be our full selves and the wisdom to be present to this moment, here, now. Amen. Our reading this morning is by Bruce Marshall, called Voting for Yourself. A friend told me of her entrance into electoral politics when she ran for office in elementary school. One thing she particularly recalled: it was a terrible breach of etiquette to vote for yourself. That was true in my school, too. Whether by show of hands or even by secret ballot, it was considered tacky to cast a vote for yourself. The cool kids would never do that. This lesson was driven into me with such force that when I became aware of national elections, I wondered, did the candidates actually vote for themselves? In retrospect, I wonder why that was such a taboo. If you go through the effort and the risk of putting yourself up for office, surely you must think you're worth your own vote. Why was that so bad? One reason was the dread of being thought stuck up. Another was our belief that if we really were good enough, people would know it. We didn't think we had to deal in self-promotion. It was an innocent view of the world. But in growing up, most of us learn that sometimes we've got to vote for ourselves. When no one else will stand up for us, then we've got to do it ourselves. When we have a belief that no one else is adequately articulating or defending, then we have to do that ourselves. When we are being hurt and no one seems eager to rescue us, then at least we can count on our own vote. My friend lost that big election in elementary school. She lost, you guessed it, by one vote. The person she voted for won. Never let yourself lose by that one vote you didn't cast for yourself. I want to share with you this morning one of my favorite children's stories, The Little Engine That Could. My sister and I used to make our parents read this to us over and over again. And then, of course, we outgrew it, and I hadn't read it again since. But I've thought about it. I've thought about it especially during challenging times, when I took courage and inspiration from the little blue engine on the front cover, and the message that she told herself in the face of a great challenge. When I was at my mother's house a few weeks ago, we searched the shelves for this childhood favorite and found the copy that she read to us as children. The front page is torn, and someone has drawn in it in pencil. I hope it wasn't me. But there on the front cover is that little blue engine that gave me so much strength. I must say that when I returned to the book after all those decades away from it, it was not quite as I remembered it. There's this strange focus on getting toys and food to the good little girls and boys. As an adult, I wonder at the implied threat in this. But I still want to share the book with you, and I think I'll tell you the story the way I remember it. Once upon a time, there was a train filled with dolls and toys. The train was making its way to a little town in the mountains when all of a sudden it just stopped. It was broken, simply could not go another inch. "Oh no," cried all the dolls and toys. "How will we get to the town now?" Out jumped a funny little clown. "I have an idea," said the clown. "Here comes a shiny new engine. Let's ask him to help us." So when the engine got close, all the toys and dolls said together, "Please, please, shiny new engine, won't you pull our train over the mountain? We need to get to the girls and boys in the town on the other side." But the shiny new engine was something of a snob. "I pull you? I am a passenger train. I have just carried a big, fine train over the mountain with more cars than you have ever dreamed of. I pull the likes of you, indeed not." And off he steamed to the roundhouse where engines live when they are not busy. And all the dolls and toys were sad. "Don't worry," said the clown. "The passenger engine is not the only one in the world. Here's another one coming now." It was a big, strong engine, but it would not help either. "I am a freight engine," he bellowed. "I have just pulled a big train loaded with machines over the mountain. I am a very important engine indeed. I won't pull the likes of you." The next engine was a rusty old engine who was too tired after its run to help the little train full of toys. I cannot, it said as it rumbled back to the roundhouse. The dolls and toys were ready to cry, but the clown called out, "Here is another engine coming, a little blue engine. She's very little, but maybe she will help us." The dolls and toys were excited now. "Oh, please, little blue engine," cried all the dolls and toys, "will you pull us over the mountain?" "I'm not very big," said the little blue engine. "They really only use me for switching trains in the yard. I have never even been over the mountain." "But we must get over the mountain for the children," cried the toys. The very little engine looked at the toys, then at the mountain, and after a moment she said, "I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can." And she hitched herself to the little train and slowly began to tug. She tugged and pulled and tugged and pulled, and slowly, slowly, they started off. All the dolls and toys and the clown began to smile and cheer. Puff, puff, chug, chug went the little blue engine. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Up, 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 faster and faster, the little engine climbed until at last they reached the top of the mountain. Down in the valley, there lay the town. Hooray! Cried all the train full of toys. And the little blue engine smiled and seemed to say, as she puffed steadily down the mountain, I thought I could, I thought I could, I thought I could. It's very basic, I know, but I still find the message from the little blue engine to be a powerful one. Sometimes what we need in the face of great challenge, in the face of dark times or hard times, is a little chant that we can say to ourselves, or a song we can sing to ourselves. When we are tempted to think we can't, to tell ourselves we can. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. When we can only see the darkness in front of us, to sing to ourselves that the light of morning is coming, that everything's gonna be all right, gonna be okay. I am a reluctant jogger. My pace is slow, my face is red, but I try. Yesterday, I was running to the beach when it started to rain. I had just finished mowing the lawn, so I was already tired. And with the rain and all, I was becoming pretty disheartened. I guess it showed because just when I had decided to stop and walk, a car drove by and someone shouted out the window, "You got it, you got it." And so I didn't stop. I kept going. And for the rest of my run, whenever I wanted to stop, I repeated to myself, "You got it, you got this." I wonder what Nelson Mandela's mantra or song has been. I don't wonder if he has one, I just wonder what it is. Anyone who has spent almost 30 years in jail, anyone who has struggled for justice against such great powers must have words that have helped him to get through. He must have said or sung something to himself that kept him sane, kept him motivated to help his people, kept him alive during that horrible experience. Last week was the Provincetown Film Festival. I meant to make it to at least a dozen films. I did make it to one. Perhaps I'm already feeling the chaos of the summer season because the film that really caught my eye was called Running from Crazy. Yes, I thought, that's the film I want to see. Running from Crazy turned out to be a documentary examining the personal journey of model and actress Mariel Hemingway, the granddaughter of Ernest Hemingway, as she strives for a greater understanding of her family history of mental illness and suicide. The film is a mix of archival footage of the three Hemingway sisters and their parents, and intimate interviews and candid moments with Mariel herself. It examines the remarkable and totally heartbreaking Hemingway legacy. Running from Crazy has some bright moments, but also reveals some very dark secrets. In addition to extreme alcoholism, abuse, and heartbreaking jealousies, 8 people in Mariel Hemingway's family have committed suicide, including her beautiful model sister, Margot. Mariel struggles visibly to figure out how being a Hemingway has shaped her life, how much power she has to change and be in charge of her own life, and how much she can protect her own 2 daughters from the darker side of the Hemingway legacy while not denying them the opportunities that being a part of this famous family has given her and can give them. If any of you got the chance to see this film, I'd really love to talk to you about it, because my attempts to discuss it with strangers leaving the theater fell pretty flat. I think people were just too stunned from the rawness of the film. Or maybe it was my phrasing. I believe my words were, "So do you think she dumped that jerk?" You see, after all these years of heartbreak, and of having to be the adult even as a child, of picking up spilled wine and broken bottles and blood after family dinners, of living in a family where each sister hated the next one for being born and taking the attention away, of getting married young and then nursing her first husband through cancer. After all these years, Mariel has found a man who helps her to play, to reclaim that childlike spirit that she never experienced as a child, who makes her laugh. I appreciated this about him, but I also had more than a few issues with the guy. He's an adrenaline junkie, and he pushes Mariel to take extreme risks. He's big into male and female stereotypes. In this one scene, we follow the two of them on a rock climbing trip. They drive hundreds of miles into the wilderness. It looked like desert landscape. And they're sort of off-roading in these little Mini Coopers, which just isn't smart. And although he criticizes Mariel for hitting too many bumps, when he takes the wheel, he tries to show off, and they end up destroying the car. It won't even turn on. They have to use their climbing gear to hitch their car to their companion's car and tow it. They fight. It's getting late. It's after 6 o'clock. It will be dark soon, and this guy still wants to go rock climbing. Mariel is in tears. She wants to call it a day. She wants to go home. She wants to listen to that voice of reason in her head instead of following some crazy urge for adventure and risk that is leading him forward. But she can't vote for herself. So she agrees to go climbing. They've obviously done this before. The rock face they tackle is enormous, and to me, terrifying. They have all the gear, although I notice they are not wearing helmets. Maybe that would feel too safe. Mariel's partner goes up first, but the camera stays on Mariel as she struggles to find each toe hold and finger grip. She's doing really well. But there comes a point when she's halfway up this enormous cliff rock face that she doesn't know where to put her hands and feet next. She tries to look up, but it's an enormous rock face, and she can't tell if it would be easier to move to the right or to the left some. She calls out, "Should I move to the right or to the left? I think I need to move to the left or the right somehow." No answer from the top of the cliff. The camera pans back and shows just how high she is and how much further she has to go. And it's just her clinging with all her might to the face of this rock. If it wasn't apparent already, she is on her own here. She stops calling out for direction or help. She knows it's not coming. "I think I have to go to the left," she says to herself. She breathes deeply, finds an inner strength, and then finds that next handhold on the rock. A few times she slips and falls back a foot. The whole audience experiences a collective intake of breath. She slams into the rock, but catches herself. And inch by inch, one grip at a time, she makes her way up the rock face. At the top, her boyfriend gives her a high five, but this does not redeem him in my mind. The naturalist and environmentalist Kevin Scribner tells us that salmon make their way upstream by bumping repeatedly into blocked pathways until they find where the current is strongest. Somehow they know that the unimpeded rush of water means that there is no obstacle there. And so they enter this opening fervently, for though it is the hardest going, the way is clear. The lesson here is as unnerving as it is helpful, says Mark Nepo in the Book of Awakening. In facing both inner and outer adversities, the passage of truth comes at us with a powerful momentum because it is clear and unimpeded. And so, where we sense the rush of truth is where we must give our all. As human beings, he says, the blocked pathways of our journey can take on many forms. And whether it be in avoiding conflict with others, or in not taking the risk to love, or in not accepting the call of spirit that would have us participate more fully in our days, it is often easier to butt up continually against these blocked pathways than to enter fervently the one passage that is so powerfully clear. In this regard, salmon innately model a healthy persistence by showing us how to keep nosing for the unimpeded way, and once finding it, how to work even harder to make it through. Maybe it's easier for salmon. They don't have to endure the endless considerations that often keep us from moving forward. They don't have family legacies to unravel, memories to process and let go of, self-doubt to conquer. They just follow their instincts. Still, says Nepo, it is the heart's capacity to rise one more time after falling down, no matter how bruised, that verifies that such a drive lives in us too. Like salmon, our way depends not just on facing things head on, but in moving our whole being through. When things get hard, as they inevitably will, when obstacles are great and mountain passes are high, when nights are dark, we need to find that inner strength, connect with that inner drive, and use our power to find that next finger hold. We must pull ourselves up just one more inch and then move our whole being through. We can't do it half-heartedly, or we will continue to bump our heads against the barriers. We must give our all, cast our whole vote for ourselves, whisper to ourselves messages of hope and courage. And if things are so hard that we can't find any of these words, maybe we can borrow some. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Everything's gonna be all right. Gonna be okay. You got this. You got this. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Amen, and blessed be.